Hey everyone, this week we're looking at industrial and applied psychology. This is a fascinating component of psychology because it's applied to the workforce and employment, an area that we usually think of as HR or human resources. So, an experience that I had with an unclear job description. There was a time that I got hired to work as a social worker in a primary care clinic. So, this means I did embedded behavioral health. An example of what a social worker does in that clinic is that someone presents because they've lost their blood pressure medication. But they lost this because they're homeless and they can't keep track of any of their medications. So my job would be to help connect them with housing, empower them to maintain their housing, and maybe help keep them sober so they didn't lose the housing in the future. I'd also worked with people that may have presented for an anxiety attack or worried about their heart, but it turns out they have PTSD. And so I'll provide counseling and support and accurate diagnosis for the doctors that can be treated for that. I got hired for this position into a place that hadn't had a social worker there before. They had had a patient advocate who was someone with a bachelor's. So when I began, I was ready to help provide counseling for people. But the rest of the staff, including the physician, was used to their patient advocate as someone who would get people bus passes or get them vouchers to stay in the local homeless shelter. And so that was something that really wasn't utilizing me to my full abilities. So when I started working, I would clarify no, those things don't make sense for my role here. And that was challenging, both for me to navigate these expectations, but also for the other staff. They felt like I wasn't doing my job. Now, neither of these things, providing PTSD treatment or getting bus vouchers, were things that were listed in a job description. It just said there's a social worker present in the clinic. And so that's part of the challenge of unclear job descriptions. After that, when I applied for some recent positions, a number of them said, "We've never had someone in this role before. This is a new position. You got to make it what you want." And that sounds promising, but based on my past experience, that wasn't something I wanted to do. So I actually turned down a couple of jobs because they didn't have a job description. And that was something that was concerning.